Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the second part of our head modeling tutorial. So if you haven't watched the first part, I'll add a link in the description. Please go ahead and watch that. In the first part, we just brought in the pictures inside Maya and then we created this rough outline. So in the second part, we will just continue extruding the shape to make the entire head. This is where we ended in part one. So now all I can do is just keep on extruding from whatever we have to create the rest of the shape. So I'll go ahead and start with this eye. So I'll just select 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, shift right click, extrude. So that's what we get. Let me just pull this down. So that's kind of getting there. Good. So now what I can do is just connect this vertex straight to this one. So I can use the point snap, press W to get the move tool, and I can just snap it there. Okay, so I think that looks good. And we can actually compare it in the side view, front view. I think maybe I'll just push this a little bit up. I'll need to turn off the point snap. Okay, like so. Okay, I think that looks good. I can do the same extrude from the top. So I'll go ahead and select these guys. So let's say 1, 2, 3. Maybe I can extrude this one also. Let's see how that comes out. Now guys, keep in mind this is basically a trial and error. So sometimes it might work, it might have a problem. If we find any issues, we can just undo that step and continue on. So I'll just extrude like so. Okay, and probably I can just pull this inside. Let's see how that comes out. Yeah, that's somewhat good. We just have a little problem here in the front view, so I can just push this back and then adjust these points. I'll select this one and I can basically bring this out like so. Okay, so this one can also come a bit like that. This can actually open up, and I guess the skull is actually becoming bigger from behind the ears, so we don't have to follow this shape here. We'll do that way over the back. So let's say keep it like that. Then maybe I can just push this a little bit down and we can give space for the ear there. Okay, so that starts to look good. And what I can do is just connect this point onto this one. Okay, or since we've just pushed that a little bit back, so I can just move this one to the same location as the one that is above. So let's just keep it like so. And I can also do the same thing from the side view and try to match it up somewhere there. And now I can just simply select these two vertices, press shift, right click, merge vertices, and merge vertices, so that gets merged there. Now if you think it's kind of like sharp here, I can just make some small tweaks here. So just to push this away, probably a little bit up. And we can just create the final details later. So we'll just get the roughly, we'll get the shape first. Okay, that starts to look good. Now I will have to continue doing the same extrude from the face, from the lips. So I'll just select all these edges, do an extrude, pull this up. So I guess this can actually get this little point, and then I will do one more extrude, which can actually connect to the rest of the shape. Okay, that starts to look good. I will maybe just push this one a little bit down and maybe a bit forward to get connected here. Maybe this one can also go a little bit down. Let's check from the other views. Now, when we are at this level, maybe we want to see the picture, but it's actually hiding. So we can actually go to a mode called X-ray mode, which is up here. So click on that. so we can see the mesh and we can see the background image at the same time. So that comes in handy to check what we are creating. Let's do the same thing for the side view. Turn on the X-ray mode so that I can actually see what's going on. Okay, so that's looking good. Maybe I'll just push this a little bit backwards, a bit more back, over there. Now keep in mind, it's always better to have less number of divisions earlier, so that if needed we can add more divisions whenever we want. So I'll actually take it all the way till here, so push that like so. We need to create this curvy shape here, so we need to have room for that. Okay, so now I think I'll just connect these two guys, merge vertices, looking good. Okay, so maybe in between these two we can have one more division, I guess. Let's see how it comes out. I will actually do an extrude from here that can connect this area. So extrude, pull it out, and I can actually go ahead and use this little tool that we have called target weld tool. So I'll just pick this guy and weld that there. Okay, now this is one place where we need to create the whole area here for the nose. So I'm thinking, should I just keep it as it is, or should I add that point there? Might have to add one edge loop here so that I can connect that to this one. Okay, so let's give it a try, and I'll go ahead and choose one edge, press up arrow twice so we get this edge ring, and I can press shift right click and choose connect components. So this is just one method. You don't have to do it exactly the same way. You can also use the insert edge loop tool just to add an edge loop there. Okay, so now that I have that shape correct, I can do an extrude and shift right click, target weld tool, and I can just connect that one to here and this one to here. Okay, so that starts to get the shape of the nose there. Now I need to connect this guy over to this one, so I can actually add an edge loop here and get it connected to this, and we can actually flow another edge loop through this gap. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and shift right click and choose insert edge loop tool, so click and drag, there you go. Let me check from the side view and front view. I can tweak it a little bit. Okay, so if you want you can actually push this one a bit towards that side, because this guy is going to be connected here and this guy is going to be connected here. Okay, that looks good. So now what I can do is I can actually select 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So between these two I can create a nice bridge. So I'll shift right click and choose bridge. So that actually connects there. And I want to add one more division between them so that I can actually connect this guy to this one. So that looks good. Okay, so now I can actually go back to target weld tool, and I will need to have vertex. So let's say from this vertex I'll just connect it there. Okay, so that starts to look good. We can actually add the details here later. We'll just get the basic shape first. Let's just go ahead and smooth that and see how that looks. That's nice. And we have a little bit of problem here. That's because I think these vertices are not merged together. So I'll say go back I can actually press 3 so that I can check what vertices have the issue. So I think 3 of these. So let me just go ahead and select vertex. I can actually press 4 to make sure that we don't select anything that is in the back side. So let me just try to select all these 3. Shift right click, merge vertices, and merge. Okay, so now let's try once again. Press 3 so it looks smooth now. Okay, that looks good. So if you want, you can actually tweak a little bit on this area. So because this guy can go a little bit like so, and this guy can be here, this one can go a little bit up, this one can stay there, this one can come down. I think that's it. Looking good. Let's check from the front view. Okay. Oops. Okay. So now let's continue extruding like that. So I'll select this guy and all the way till here. I will actually need to add one edge loop here. So I'll go ahead and choose the I'll go ahead and right click and choose insert edge loop tool. So I will add one here. So now this guy can actually take the shape here. So let's say I'll go ahead and right click, choose vertex. So this can actually go down a bit. This can actually stay there. Let's try to get the shape as accurate as possible. Okay, so these two guys can get connected now. So I will go ahead and choose target weld tool and then weld those things together. So click this one, weld it to that. Okay, now if you want, you can actually just, instead of just keeping these things just straight, we can push this a little bit inside, or we can pull this a bit outside. Okay. Now let's continue extruding. So I'll go ahead and select this one, double click on this one so that it selects all these edges, and I will continue extruding. So I'll push this down like so. Okay, so that's for the next point. I think that's going too much inside. Maybe that's not the result that I'm expecting. Let's see. This can actually go all the way till here, so that's where it will connect. Okay, this one can go back, this one can also go back, and this one can actually come down. We might have some little issues because the front view and the side view that we have is not 100% accurate, so we need to keep that in mind. Let's check it out. I think this guy can actually come a little bit out. Let's see how that actually looks. It's coming closer and then coming down. I think this can actually come out a bit, like so. This can also come out a bit. Let's go ahead and press 3, see how it looks. I can just connect these two guys, merge vertices, that's perfect. I can do the same thing here, merge vertices and merge. Okay, so once we're done with that, we can continue extruding from here till here. extrude. This time we can actually go a little bit further. Like so. This can be snapped to this one. So this can be snapped to this. So everything looks good. I can actually merge these two vertices, select both, merge, and here also I can select both, merge. Let's smooth that out and see how it looks. Let's get the basic shape looking good. And I think I can just make one more extrude, or maybe I'll just start with the ears here. Okay, and from this it will actually do an extrude that creates the side direction like that. I will do that and then we will continue on with the rest. So I'll select this one and we'll do one extrude. This time I'm not going to do the same gizmo. I'm going to use my move tool just to move this back. This is the neck that we are creating. So let's say take the neck all the way to the back, like so, and like so. So now what we can do is we can actually do insert edge loop tool. So let's say add an edge loop right in the middle, and this can be pushed to the side like so. There you go. So that creates the neck. Something went wrong here. Okay, I think I overdid the undo so that it just got lost its location. So I'll just push this back to its original place. Okay. So now just to smooth this out, we can just add more points. Insert edge loop tool, so I'll add one here and move it like so. I'll add one here, move it like so. Maybe I'll just push this slightly down. Okay, so now depending on the need, we can add more points. Okay, so now here I will, I think I'll just keep this guy connected towards this one so that I will just add these 2 points. So one going to this, or maybe to both. So this guy can get connected to these two, which means I will have to add one edge loop in between. So let's say add one edge loop here, and I will just round that shape. Looking good. Now this edge and this edge will be attached to this one, these two. So I will use the bridge, and I don't think I'll need to add any divisions in between. If you want, okay, we can add one so that that can be attached to this one also. So I'll add one division in between. That looks good. So these two can be pushed slightly down, I guess, just to get that shape. Now I can continue doing the same thing here. So let's say select this edge, and bridge with one division. So these two guys can be merged. And here we have, I'll just push this like so. We just have a nice quad space. I can just fill that hole, and there we go. So let's try to smooth that out. Looking good. We just have a little line that is in the middle that will be fixed when we just merge these two faces together as one. Okay, so now we'll just continue on extruding from the head. So that goes from here. I'll go ahead and take a look at the side view, extrude, push this up. We can actually just create few, then we can add more later. Just extruding, 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 extruding. Now keep in mind, I'm actually putting these points in the exactly on the skull area, but you will notice that there are some gaps here, so we might have to push these things a little bit out depending on the need. So these are not the final locations, but we will make more points. I think actually I could have ignored that last extrude. Anyways, so let's see how that comes out. Okay, so I think I can just push this guy a little bit to the right side just to have a little space there. Good. So now we can just connect these two. Choose vertex, select these two vertices, merge, select these two vertices, and merge. Okay, so that's just the basic skull shape coming out. I'm going to just make some small tweaks here. Just pull this out a little bit, push it slightly down, pull this out a little bit, push it slightly in, pull this out, push it in, pull this out, like so. Okay, so now we can actually continue with the ear area. This can also be connected just with a bridge with one division, so I can actually merge these 2 points, merge. Okay, and this can be a little bit like so, and I will have to do more extrude that are coming from below till the ear area. Okay, and this guy should actually flow till here. So what I can do is I can select 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so this will basically flow till the back. So I'll add a bridge, and maybe I'll add 2 divisions there. That's taking the shape. So I'll just have to push this out backwards like so. Select these 2, and I can actually push this like so. Okay, so that gets the basic shape there, and I might have to add one more edge loop here, which can actually show the width of the skull here. So let's see, push this like so. Okay, something like that. And between these I can add another edge loop. Let's say connect components, and that loop can actually take it all the way to the fullest size of the skull. Okay, let's go ahead and smooth it, see how it looks. Yeah, yep, that looks good. So now what we can do is just connect these guys that are remaining. So this will go all the way till here, and we need to add one edge loop here, one edge loop here. That should fix it. So I'll say insert edge loop tool, one here that can be pushed slightly up like so, just to get the shape, and one here that can also be pushed up like so. Looking good. So now last thing that we need to do is select this guy. Let's see, 1, Oh, come on. 1. Okay. 2, 3. I'm gonna try with the 4. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it doesn't work, we will undo that. If it does work, it's great. Okay, it didn't work. So I'll just ignore those last 2 points and I will do a bridge. I'm going to add 1 edge loop in between, sorry, 1 division in between, so that is going to get it there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm going to push this up like so. And we're going to basically merge these two. So 1, 2, merge vertices, merge. Okay, so this is basically going to the last point. I can just do a fill hole there. Let's go backwards a bit, upward a bit. Okay, so now I can just select all these edges and I can do a fill hole. So that's basically the skull. Looking good. We'll just leave the room for the ear and we will just extrude the rest. So again, these 2 points and these 2 edges, and I think this will go all the way till here, and we just have 2 more divisions which will end up nicely there. Okay, so I think I'll just extrude from here. So let's say select these 2, extrude, pull this up, and what we're going to do is we're going to make this guy go till the end, or let me just give it another try. This will actually go till here and this will actually go till here, so I can add 2 edge loops. So let's say 1 edge loop here, okay, and that needs to basically come out a bit, back a little bit, okay, and 1 more edge loop here, pushing it back like so. Okay, so now these guys are going to be attached to this ones in the top. So I'll go ahead and select 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll go ahead and choose connect bridge. Okay, so we need to decide how many points we want in between. So let's say 1, 2, 3. So let's add 3 divisions. Sorry, 2, 3 divisions. So 1 more. Good. Okay, so now all these 3 needs to come down a bit. So let's see how that comes out. So this side is okay, but these edges needs to be a bit more down. So I'll select these 2 and I'm going to use something called slide edge tool. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's starting to look good. So select these 2 and bring them down like so, and these ones also slightly down. Okay, so not only that, we also need to bring these vertices down so that they get connected to this guy. Okay, so select this. I can press V to snap it here. Now if the other side is actually disturbing for you, you can actually select that, put it in a layer and hide it. Okay, so once we're finished, we can actually bring the other side also. So I can just select these 2 vertices, merge vertices, merge vertices. I'll have to merge this one also. So there you go. And then accordingly we need to adjust the shape to match the requirement that we have. So let's say push this down. Maybe I'll have to push this a little bit out. Okay, now for the ear area, what we can do is just bring this out like so, bring this out like so. I can actually merge these 2 points. Merge, yes. So we'll leave this space for creating the ear. Okay, so here you can see that when we smooth it out, it might become a bit smaller. Let's check that out. So we'll have to push all these points a little bit out so that we get the exact shape that we want. So I can actually take these last ones and push them up. So I might have to add one more edge loop here, so we'll just leave that as it is for now. Take these things a little bit back. Let's check from the front view. We can see that it comes to the back, which is nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and hide that, show that other side. So this completes the second part of the head modeling tutorial. So we will continue on making the rest of the details and the ear in the next part. Thank you.